And we're back to talk a little softball and baseball. Got it.
Yes, spring fling is in the air. All y'all doing your spring thing. Well, let's talk a little bit about the softball. Softball took 2 out of 3 at home from Pine Bluff. They've won several in a row. So many I've forgotten in regards, but every once in a while, team gets it right and gets it done. But even in that game, it was a close one. So they started things off winning 9-8. So you can see that Pine Bluff was right there in the game for this young Prairie View Panthers that find a way to get it done. They win the second game in terms of the first part of that doubleheader on Saturday, which was 8-6, and they lose the third one 7-8. But they are 11-7 overall, which puts them in second place in the Western Division, behind Texas Southern University. So they are doing well in terms of where they could be seated in the tournament. They just have to keep it going. That's pretty much closes up the first half of the season, if you would, and start looking at what goes down in the second part of the season. So the second stretch will be huge as they move forward. Talking about the first half of the season, let's get over to baseball. Big time matchup, as you heard last week when we came out. Southern was coming to town. Actually, the games were supposed to be scheduled for Baton Rouge, but because of some rain in that area, they moved it to Prairie View. Prairie View took full advantage of having a game at home. Now, this means later in the year, they will be on the road, but you get what you get and you take care of it when you can. They started things off with the bats on Friday, hot, slamming, getting it done as they win 12-4. All right, so you get the redo on Saturday, which is the second game. This is important because if you get this one, you win the series. They win it 7-2, so the bats are still hot. Well, at some point, things might change. What about Sunday? All year long, we've won every series in the West, getting at least 2 out of 3. We had not swept anybody, but we were desperate to bring out the brooms against Southern, and everything was on line in terms of the first half of the season. You win this game, you are sitting in first place alone when you close out the first half, which means you go into the second half with a lot in your control. You lose the game, you're still part of a share of it. But guess what happens? Prairie View gets it done, tight ball game, but the pitching was in great position to get it done as they win 3-2, which means they held Southern that came into the game in first place to 8 points, 8 runs in the baseball contest where they put it up. So they do get out the brooms. They sweep Southern and now have a great lead coming out of the first half of the series as they are 10-4, where you have Grambling and Southern behind them at 9-5, and then right behind them is Texas Southern University. So great job by the baseball team in terms of closing out the first half. Now they find a way to get it done and see what they can get in the second half. I'm excited about this baseball program in terms of how they've turned things around over the last couple of years. And so let's see them close up fast. As you heard last week, I was out there live for the game. So let's find a way to get out there and see some baseball, some softball, as you talked about. It's a great sport to watch. You get out there, get some popcorn. The fans are really good about the way they cheer, so you'll have some fun. Get out there and watch some baseball, softball at Prairie View University.
Nice. I'm excited about potential tournament runs for baseball and softball.